Good afternoon. My name is Teresa Harsha, and I am the Vet Center Coordinator here at Central Lakes College. We're about to start in a few minutes. If you would, find your seat and please ensure that your cell phones, electronic devices are on silent or off.
Good afternoon. I am Hera Charlier, president here at Central Lakes College, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Central Lakes College Yellow Ribbon Declaration event. Please stand for the presentation of colors, our national anthem, and remain standing for the Ojibwe honor song. Know that you're all encouraged to sing along, and gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Order, arms, right face, forward, march.
Thank you, Mr. LaFlamme, for your performance of the national anthem, to the Brainerd VFW DAV for the presentation of colors, and to Arlen Sam for the American Indian hand drum honor song. In follow-up to the national anthem, it's important that we thank all of those who serve or who have served in the United States Armed Forces. If you've ever served, please stand to be recognized. Please join me in thanking these individuals for their service. Thank you for being our esteemed guests here today. At this time, I would like to take a moment to recognize the guests that are up front with me here. Brian Yolitz, Associate Vice Chancellor for Facilities for Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. Roger Moe, Vice Chancellor for the Minnesota State College and Universities Board of Trustees. Lieutenant Colonel Ed Suarez, Recruiting and Retention Battalion Commander for Minnesota Army National Guard. Annette Kuiper, Director of Military Outreach for the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs. Gina Sabania is with us, Director of Veteran, Military, and Adult Learner Services for Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. And in the back, Teresa Harsha, Veterans Resource Coordinator here at Central Lakes College, who has worked tirelessly to pull this event together. So please give those folks a resounding round of applause. Thank you. It is a tremendous honor for us to be recognized as a Beyond the Yellow Ribbon organization today, and we thank you for the time that you've put into being with us and to your help in all of the work that we do. While Central Lakes College has a long history of proudly serving veterans, service members, and military families, both here on the college campus and in the community, this recognition is not about us. As you know, it is about those who we serve. One of the hallmarks of CLC is dedication to the people and the relationships that we know ground this institution. And quite simply, I can think of no group more deserving of our support than those who have sacrificed so much for our country. So while today's recognition is a recognition of long support to military individuals and families, it's also an opportunity, an important opportunity for the college to proclaim its commitment to enhancing this critical work long into the future. You have our assurance that serving veterans, servicemen and women, and their families will continue to be a proud tradition that we uphold and a very, very high priority at this institution. Once again, we're grateful for your service and honored to support you in our work. Thank you. It is a beautiful, albeit blustery day, but it is beautiful. To help continue the celebration, Central Lakes College is pleased to have Mr. Brian Yolitz, Associate Vice Chancellor for Facilities for Minnesota State, with us today. Mr. Yolitz joined Minnesota State in 2010 after serving for more than 27 years in the United States Air Force. He oversees facilities, policy, planning and programming, design and construction, and operations and maintenance for the system's 54 campuses. Please join me in welcoming Brian Yolitz.
Thank you, President Charlier, Teresa, and Central Lakes community. It's so good to be back in Brainerd and on the campus of Central Lakes College. This time not to look at a leaky roof or to go into a locker room needing a renovation, but more importantly to celebrate Central Lakes College and this incredible community for its continued work in supporting veterans and their families. I bring congratulations from Chair Jay Coles and the entire Board of Trustees of the Minnesota State College University System and our Chancellor Devinder Malhotra on Central Lakes College being declared a yellow ribbon organization. With this recognition, you join nearly 200 Minnesota cities, counties, and businesses recognized for their support for service members and their families, particularly in the areas of recruitment and hiring of veterans. The college joins 16 other Minnesota State colleges and universities, as well as the system office, in becoming a yellow ribbon recognition. While this recognition may be new to the college, the support and commitment to veterans by Central Lakes College and Minnesota State College universities is not. You should know that more than 9,300 veterans and service members attend Minnesota State College universities. That's an increase of some 34% since 2008. That increase is directly attributable to the passion and drive of Gina Sabonia, as well as her predecessor, Steve Franz, who's now retired, who's still involved in this work, and the work of so many more, just like you all, across our system. Our colleges and universities have awarded more than 212,000 credits to for military courses, including professional military education, or PME. Being a military guy, I had to put an acronym in there just to get that away. And this has saved veterans and service members more than $40 million in tuition and fees, and saved more than $8.5 million hours of time. It's important to note, however, that Central Lakes College, you saw the need to support veterans very early, well beyond the yellow ribbon took root as a homegrown veteran support program in 2008. You established one of the first and arguably one of the best I've seen veteran resource centers within our system in the 54 campuses. The network and support structure you have created for veterans as both students and employees is incredibly important. When men and women leave the military and hang up their uniform for the last time, they often find themselves alone with their thoughts and experiences from faraway lands, and is often unrelatable to the folks that they hang out with, and without a sense of purpose or mission, the thing that got them up every morning. This combination of loneliness and no sense of mission or objective to drive towards can be a deadly combination. In 2012, the Veterans Administration released a suicide data report that found on average 22 veterans die by suicide every day. That figure has not gotten better since that report was published. This is where higher education in Minnesota State plays a critical role in the lives of veterans, like coming to here, the Central Lakes College, for education and employment. The opportunity of a certificate or a degree and employment can be the new mission or purpose veterans need, and the community you've created can be a real lifesaver, and I thank you. I close by saying congratulations for what you have done and what you are doing and what you'll continue to do into the future, and thank you for being a wingman to one another day in and day out, and thank you for being a part of this special day and celebration. Thank you very much.
All right, So I would like to take a minute and recognize our Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Committee. It took a lot of hours of hard work and dedication from this group, and I would just like you to stand to be recognized when I call your name. Joy Bowden, Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs and Chair of the Yellow Ribbon Committee. Sharon Moore, Interim Human Resources Director. Paul Primesberger, Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Success. Sue Bremer, CLC Instructor. And Bob Nelson, who is not here with us today. If you would, please give that group a round of applause. Next, it is my pleasure to invite Lieutenant Colonel Ed Suarez to the podium. Lieutenant Colonel Suarez is the Recruiting and Retention Battalion Commander for Minnesota Army National Guard. It is my distinct honor to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Suarez.
Well, good afternoon, President Charlier, Mr. Yolitz, Central Lakes College service members, veterans, and military family members, as well as Teresa. Thank you for your efforts today. It's a great day to be here, great honor to be here as well, to have this opportunity to recognize you all as a Yellow Ribbon Company, an organization that cares about veterans and their families. Today, Central Lakes College will be the 67th organization in Minnesota to achieve this outstanding achievement. For those of you on steering committee, you know this was no small feat. It took a team with a lot of passion and a lot of care. Beyond Yellow Ribbon Company program requires your organization to identify and support all military-connected employees and students, enhance awareness of military-specific issues and resources, hire skilled veterans, leaders, and build relationships with military-connected organizations in the local community. I've been truly amazed at the dedication of this college has made towards creating an environment that honors and supports service members, veterans, and their families. This commitment to excellence has led your steering committee to create a comprehensive action plan that will provide a lasting impact to military-connected employees and their students at Central Lakes and the local community. I especially appreciate your willingness to partner with the Minnesota National Guard as you develop strong relationships with our leadership at Camp Ripley. Brigadier General Cruz, the commander at Camp Ripley, expresses his regret at not being able to attend here today, but rest assured, he has seen your action plan and wanted me to convey his sincere gratitude for all you've done to support military members in the area. This organization's commitment also shows in your partnership with the Yellow Ribbon Network of Crow Wing County. These volunteer leaders need your ongoing partnership and participation to help their networks fill gaps in resources for service members, veterans, and military family members in Minnesota communities. So I've been on 3 deployments in my 31-year career, and the networks have been there all along. In my second deployment, the network from Hugo partnered and connected with my family while I was gone to prepare our home and our yard in the arrival of my time in spring. It was very beneficial to have them there support me. So I've witnessed what this outgoing support can happen in our communities and how it benefited my family. I want you to know how important these efforts are as military training and deployments requirements increase for the Guard and Reserve, and aging veterans require more connections to the community. We need your support now more than ever. Our son Antonio, on December 7th, 2017, enlisted in the National Guard. And in January this year, he finished his training and started going to Normandale Community College, which is also a Yellow Ribbon school. And I can tell you personally, firsthand, how beneficial it was knowing we had someone there who cared about him, could understood his interests, his concerns. And while he was at Fort Hood this year training, ran in a time crunch and getting his registration completed and getting his funding requirements completed. But they were there along to help him while he was gone, working with me, working with my wife, to make sure that he was set when he came back to start this fall. So I know firsthand what a difference it makes to have this type of support network here, and I thank you for that. I commend the organization and all dedicated members of your steering committee. You are leading the way for how an Institute for Higher Learning can create an environment that supports, honors, and recognizes the value of military service. On behalf of more than 13,000 members of the Minnesota National Guard, thank you to everyone for your dedication to those who serve our nation and for your passion for supporting service members and veterans and their families. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. I look forward to your continued partnership as you mentor other Minnesota colleges and universities to create and share your best practices for military support in Minnesota and throughout the nation. Thank you, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
All right, and now for the final declaration, I would like to invite Annette Kuiper up to the podium.
No. If I lower it a little bit, that'll help. Thank you, Teresa. We are very honored to be here today to proclaim you as a Yellow Ribbon organization. Now, Colonel Suarez and I usually bring along the governor or lieutenant governor, and they're very sorry they couldn't be here today. But the governor has sent along a letter that I'd like to share with you. Dear Central Lakes College, congratulations on your formal designation as a Beyond the Yellow Ribbon company. I apologize, my schedule prohibited me from attending the ceremony today. Our Yellow Ribbon companies in Minnesota are praised nationally for their commitments in support of service members, veterans, and military families. I commend Central Lakes College for your dedication to becoming an organization that not only supports your military-connected students, but your employees as well. Today, your leadership has made over and above commitments to continue to show appreciation and support for those who have served and continue to serve our country. These commitments have been made in every area of this organization. I am proud to officially proclaim you as a Yellow Ribbon company in the state of Minnesota, and I thank you for your dedication and support. Congratulations on this much-deserved proclamation. Sincerely, Governor Tim Walz, Governor of Minnesota. Now, as you have heard here today, your steering committee must meet state requirements to create a comprehensive action plan in every area of this organization to ensure that there is support for service members, veterans, and military families. That state action plan is delivered to the State of Minnesota Action Plan Review Board with leaders from the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, Military Affairs, the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, as well as the Governor's Office. This team, our Yellow Ribbon State Action Plan Review Board, methodically looks at every area and commitment that this organization has made. So as you've heard today, it is no small feat. So today we are very, very proud to deliver a State of Minnesota proclamation. Whereas the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Company program pays tribute to those organizations with an exceptional record of caring, commitment, and compassion for service members, veterans, and their families through various programs and public works. It is with this commitment and caring that Central Lakes College will serve with honor and distinction as a Yellow Ribbon Company in the state of Minnesota. I'd like to ask President Charlier and Colonel Suarez to please step forward. And Teresa. Colonel Suarez, I'll have you hand this to the President. Today we are honored to proclaim Central Lakes College as our 67th Yellow Ribbon Company. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annette, for that. To conclude today's ceremony, we ask that you remain seated and take a minute while TAPS plays. When it is done, we ask that you are all welcome to join us in the South Hall for refreshments and viewing of the War Comes Home exhibit. If you can, please be sure to stay for the 2:30 presentation by Jim Kriegler, a Vietnam veteran, who will speak on his experience with the war and recovery. Thank you.